Hello, my tacticians and strategists in training. For today's class, we're going to discuss guilds. In particular, one tiny aspect of a guild that is so very, very important. You need to put the guild in the dwarves' faces. If we cut over to what is listed on the wiki, there is a sentence listed by itself that for some reason is just listed as an afterthought. While a guild is unestablished, it can still hold public skill demonstrations for idlers. What this means is that even if a guild has not asked you to make it, or you haven't made the guild have a high enough worth to be super important, it still just works. You can use a guild to proactively make more dwarves gain necessary skills for your fort without them having to waste time when they could be doing other things. If someone is inside a guild and they're idle, or in an area denoted by a guild and they are idle, they'll just get picked up to watch a demonstration like, hey, you're here, you've been wrangled. So in this, I've created a new base, just started out. We're almost 4 months in. What I've done is on the left, I've created just a standard dining hall. To the right, I've created a bunch of beds. Up north, storage, nothing. Literally nothing here. We've basically just started. I have the 7 dwarves. To the left, this is just a meeting hall. I've not made this a tavern. I have not done anything else to this area. This is where they go to eat and possibly drink, what have you. It could be converted into a tavern. It's ultimately not necessary. Layered on top of it, though, I have set aside this as a meeting area as well, and I've assigned it to the Foggy Owl. If we look, the Foggy Owl is a farmer's guild hall. Now, whenever you first create a new area, it's going to say only members can visit, parentheses, if guild established. You know what? We don't like that. If you hit the letter R a few times, you'll get citizens and long-term residents only. This setting right here is Armok's gift to you. Is Armok's gift to all dwarves. It is your gifts to all of your dwarves below you. What this means is, I don't care who's supposed to belong in the guild. I have now given every single dwarf in my base permission to use this guild. It also prevents foreign actors entering your base and causing all kinds of actions and activities to steal your artifacts and all that good nonsense. It's not the topic of today's video. But anyways, so I've set this aside as being for citizens and long-term residents only, not guild members, literally everyone in the guild. If we look at what this has done, it's just the beginning. My dwarves have not had time for anything. And if we look under farming, 3 dwarves have, I don't have farms. I don't have anything. These people were just sitting there one day and the dude gave farming. Anything that is within a quote unquote farmer's guild, if somebody has skill, they will teach it. He's also taught cooking. We've also had people teaching brewing. We've had him teaching plant gathering. He's taught a bit of tanning to everyone. He's spread the skills whenever people were having downtime. Now, admittedly, there are a few restrictions to this. One, you need a guy who has the skill, or else it doesn't matter if you have a guild. To the right over here, I have got people's bedrooms. I've made this also be a guild hall. The Dignified Honesties. Dignified Honesties, Doctor Guild Hall. We don't have any medical professors. We have nobody who is medical. So nobody did the teaching. This is kind of an important thing. All this is doing is saying, hey, do you have this skill? Give it to other dwarves. The person who gives the skill, however, in this particular case, it's Kubuk. If I go looking for Kubuk, I believe it's this gentleman. felt satisfied after teaching growing. You interested having an intellectual conversation. You actually get nice thoughts out of this. So not only do you get more dwarves to have skills for free, all your dwarves get social points and happy thoughts from doing this. Now, this is just what I've done at the beginning. We're going to back out. We are going to back out of this, and I'm going to load up the base that I've been using on stream, where I've been putting this, where I've been doing this experimentation. And let me tell you something. This is something. The whole purpose of this is you've just got to put the guilds in their way. So this, oh, that's right, I was under attack. We're gonna ignore the fact that I'm dying on stream. We are going to ignore that fact. One idea, one that I freaking love. This area right here is a barracks. This is what I was testing, is whether or not a barracks and a guild work the same. Near as I can tell, they basically do, just for a heads up. This is a barracks that my dwarves train in. It also happens to be belonging to the Abbey of Phantoms. The Abbey of Phantoms is a temple to our god of the dead, Tarim the Dead. So what this means is, no joke, as people of that religion come in to get their training on, I'm gonna have to, just for ease of visual, we're gonna do Dwarf Therapist for all these. Please connect. As people have been coming in for this, if we go to military, they've all been getting trained. Well, people of that particular religion. I don't have that many people in the military. I have like 13 tops, but everyone has been gaining skill in discipline. We have a thing working right now where I have an open door to the cave. I don't lock this. The animals just come up and my civilian dwarves just beat the shit out of them. And then when I realize that there's a fight going on, I just send down the military dwarves. Like, I don't get cancellation spam because most of my dwarves just have enough discipline to not care. Just because of that military, the barracks being an overlaid area with a temple, tons of my dwarves have been getting, if nothing else, basic combat skills. A lot of dwarves have been gaining this. In other news, in other parts of this, where I did this experiment, I had overlaid a farming guild on top of the farm where I also had the still, and I didn't have a proper setup, so everyone would have to come to the still for booze. Well, guess what? What that created was everyone gaining all kinds of farmer skills. They just kept sharing with everyone. So if I lose one dwarf, I'm not going back to step 0. They just do this in their off time. Everyone's got all these crazy skills. My hospital, what is a hospital, has been set as both a hospital and a meeting area. So it's a hospital and it's a guild hall, the Lovely Flower. The Lovely Flower, where are you, is a doctor guild hall, citizens and long-term residents only. And would you look at this, almost every single dwarf I have, while they have varying skill points in it, are able to do doctor skills. If something happens to my chief doctor, you know what? I just switch him out for the next guy. If I need someone to be really good at surgery for some reason, I just turn off surgery on whoever doesn't have the highest surgery. You know, if they have another job, you know, okay, I don't have to turn it on, but it's good to have these options. With only 3 guilds, you can basically cover a ton of skills. If you do a crafts dwarf guild hall, you do wood crafting, stone crafting, leatherworking, bone carving, weaving, clothier, glassmaker, potter, glazer, waxworker, and strand extractor. If you do metalsmith, furnace smith, weaponsmith, armor, blacksmith, metal, doctor, all the doctor skills, farming, all of those. These are not these sub guilds. If you want to specify plant gatherer, then you will need to do a plant gatherer's guild. It's one of the sub things under Farmer's Guild, which, by the way, Farmer is like the biggest guild hall. It covers like everything. But You don't need someone, oh, we've got the greatest or whatever. They will like basically teach people up and above their own skill. As long as they're just leading a demonstration, everyone else is getting these skill points. It's freaking amazing. As a second part of this, there was a trait that I am not seeing here. I don't know where it is. Student. I'm trying to find the student skill. Where is student? Why do I not remember this right now? If you look, everyone's been building up concentration. Everyone's been building up observer. Everyone has been building up student, and everyone has been building up teacher, or, mostly the people who have skills to actually teach. But again, they do this in their idle time. So they're all just charging. This is like the old screw pump to build strength, but you do it with every skill, and also, oddly enough, a whole bunch of weird ones in the back. Secondary, if you like bookkeeping, the people who are hosting it and teaching, because they have to organize the training, they get organizer skills. Like every single skill in here. And if you go and look at what I did, most of these aren't even guild halls. These are temples. So we'll just skip the temples. We have a farmer's guild, a doctor guild, a ranger guild, a craftsdwarf guild. That's it. And a barracks. If you want to add it. Five guilds is all it took. Now, one of the guilds, I did say the farmer's guild used to be there. There is one downside to this, and it is that sometimes people can accidentally get dragged in. Like, you're almost knocking on their door and kidnapping them and forcing them to get a skill. So if they were going to be doing something else, or they have like that time between activities where like they're idle for a few ticks and they realize what they need to do, the local guild might kidnap them. So I had to move the farming guild down here, the Coast of Packing. And basically I put it there because it's on the way to 2 temples. So anyone who goes to these 2 temples is routinely kidnapped into the Farmers Guild so that they are forced to learn even if they don't want to. This is how you should be doing guilds. Until such time as this is determined to be a glitch or a bug and removed from the game, this is what you need to be doing with guilds. You need to start your first thing. Wherever you put a tavern, create like an area of it. Say it's a craftsdwarf, or say it's a farmer's guild. Say it's a craftsdwarf guild. Because if you have any moment where you have idlers, you might as well be forcing them to get conversation and teaching in. You'll notice it says 7 idlers. I guarantee you that's not true. They're all spending their time doing combat drills. Actually, right now they're all mostly doing things. Well, that's slightly awkward. No one in any of my guilds is actually training right now. But a lot of times, if you end up with that, that issue where you're like, oh my God, well, I guess the temples is technically taking that slot right now. But if you end up with the issue where it's like, oh, I've got so many idlers and I'm losing track of what I'm doing with all my dwarves, you need more guilds. That's it. Guilds are the key to everything. Like I said, if nothing else, if you take nothing else from this, make your barracks overlay with one of your temples. Make a temple be a barracks. This right here has made sure that I get through everything. Even my non-military dwarves, they don't give an F. They don't give an F at all. We had one fight on stream where a Lycan came through the front door before I noticed him. Ah, such an awful moment. He's in the front door. You can't lock it. What are you going to do? There was a dwarf right here. Had an axe on him a silver axe, admittedly. I have no clue what was going on with him. Was not in the military. He immediately turned around and hit him in the head and killed him. A civilian dwarf, because he had had some training, his fight or flight response kicked in, and he did that thing where he's like, I'm too scared, he's right by me, and he had enough to hit the Lycan. It was a were-goat, I think, and he just killed it. Now, I can't guarantee that would happen with every single one of my dwarves, but it is so useful that this needs to be done. And if you look at the wiki right now, it just says, while a guild is unestablished, it can still hold public skill demonstrations for idlers. One tiny sentence, And I swear that is the single greatest thing that the guilds are doing. And that should have been the very first sentence. If you found me educational and entertaining, give a thumbs up on that video so we can get this information out there. We need everyone using their guilds as much as possible. Subscribe to the channel. I know I've been missing for a while. Oh my God, every time I try to come back, something happens. But we are so very close to being able to do things. Please give that channel a subscription. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.